Hi guys, it's me. You just left me and I feel a little silly doing this. So we're gonna start this journey together and figure out how these videos work. I'm so excited that you're gonna be in AP Calculus with me, but before we start this big crazy journey of AP, we need to review some things about Algebra 2. And the fastest way to do that, I hope, is doing it this way. So we're gonna try it out. So our first topic is lines. So go ahead and grab your notebooks, open up to a blank page, and title the topic Lines. And then, as I keep going, you are going to take notes, just like you would in class, okay? So make sure that you're writing down any important vocabulary, that you're copying any example problems that we're doing, and that you're writing questions for me. That's the hardest part about this format, is that you can't stop me and ask questions. So make sure that you are actually writing down those questions, and the next time I see you, I will help you out with them. All right, let's get going. All right, so we have talked all about lines in the past 5, 6, 7 years that you've been in school, but we are going to start using some more advanced terminology for the things that you already know about, okay? So first thing, let's review some basics. We've got our x-axis, and we've got our y-axis. That is not going to change, okay? And then we're going to talk about this line here, okay? So there are 3 different ways that we can talk about a line. 3 different forms. So the first one is the one that we use most frequently, y equals mx plus b, right? Where y is my output, m is my slope, x is the input, and b is my y-intercept. Okay, so take a moment, jot all of that down, and that is called my slope-intercept form. All right, so moved you a little closer here. Talking about this word slope, right? Before, we've heard it be called rise over run, okay, which is accurate. We are talking about between 2 points, okay, so between 2 points, we are talking about how much is my function rising or going up, right, versus how far is it running horizontally, okay? Now, this is my x-axis, so what you might start seeing is x1 and x2 and y1 and y2. Okay? So the more academically correct way to talk about rise over run is by thinking about, okay, how much is my y, my rise, changing, and how much is my x changing? Okay, so instead of saying y rise over run now, we are going to call this the change in y and the change in x. Okay, and that triangle means delta. It's called change. Okay, so change in y over change in x. So we're now going to start saying that slope is equal to the change in y over the change in x. Other words that you might start seeing when we're looking at graphs are intervals and increments. Both mean the same thing, okay? An interval, or an increment, is essentially saying how far is my distance from x1 to x2? How far is my distance from y1 to y2? All right, so now we're going to add some numbers to x1 and y1 and x2 and y2. So we're going to say that this point is 2, 1, and we'll say that this point is 4, 5. Sure. Okay, those will be given to you, right? So we're going to say that those are our points, and from a graph, we can calculate our slope, or we can do it from just knowing the points. We're going to practice both. So from the points, or from the graph, we're going to look at, we're starting at 2, and we're going to 4, right? So this distance here is 4, right? We're going from 2 to 4. Going upwards, I'm going from 1 to 5. So going from 1 to 5 would also be 4. So then that would mean my slope would be the change in x, which was 4, over the change in y, which was 4, and we should always simplify and get 1. So my slope is 1. Okay. If I did not have the graph, I could do the same process in my head, thinking about how much we're rising, how much we're running, or the formal formula is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1.